Hi, this is Mr. Eaton with Year 7 2.2 video lesson called Measuring Angles. As always, remember to make some notes and put the video on pause whenever you need to do so, and also to do some of the questions. Alright, just a couple of things for you to know before we go on. Angles are usually described using the unit of measurement called degrees, and if we were writing something, so for example we would say 23 and the little 0 that's up the top there, that is actually called the degree sign. Right, next we're going to start looking at different types of angles. The first one that we need to look at is the acute angle, and acute angles are between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. So here is an example of an acute angle. It is between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. Well, 90 would be straight up like that, and obviously this angle is less than 90, it comes like that. So the angle inside here, okay, needs to be between 0 and 90 degrees. Next we need to look at right angles, which must be exactly 90 degrees. So this angle that is sitting in there, that angle there, must be exactly 90 degrees. And we often put a little square sign inside that angle over there to represent that that is 90 degrees. That little square means that it is exactly 90 degrees. The next angle is obtuse angles, and they are between 90 degrees and 180 degrees. So this is an example of an obtuse angle. The angle inside here is between 90 degrees, which is straight up, and 180 degrees. 180 degrees will be a straight line. So this angle goes like this. So it is between 90 degrees and 180 degrees. And to represent an angle, we normally put a little arc in like that. Okay, so that is an obtuse angle between 90 and 180 degrees. Well, a straight line must be 180 degrees. A straight line pretty much is a straight line. Alright, so there you have it. So if that's the angle that we're measuring, a straight line would be exactly 180 degrees. The next is a reflex angle, and that is between 180 degrees and 360 degrees. So if we have a look at this angle, we could imagine that if this was a straight line over here, we could carry that straight line on, and that would be 180 degrees, which is that over there. So a straight line is 180 degrees, but this is a little bit more, so it goes a bit further around. Okay, so it's more than 180 degrees, and this particular line could be anywhere. This line could be there, it could be there, it could be there, it could be really close over there as well, but that is a reflex angle. And the last angle we can look at is called a revolution, and a revolution must be 360 degrees. Alright, so if this is the point from which we're measuring, our angle goes like this, it goes all the way around and comes back round. Okay, so we'd actually draw that in as something like this. Okay, and that would be a revolution. Alrighty, we use a protractor to measure angles accurately, and they're also used when we draw angles. Alright, well this is what a protractor looks like. It has from 0 all the way through to 180 degrees on the inside, and also 0 all the way through to 180 degrees on the outside. It basically depends which way you want to draw your angle. Generally, I would like to start with 0, and I'd like to go all the way through to 180 degrees that way. So I tend to use the inside more than I would use the outside numbers, because I like drawing my angles something like that as opposed to something like that. Okay. Alright, so now that we know what a protractor looks like, we need to draw an acute angle that is between 0 and 90 degrees. Alright, so I need to draw acute angle AOB to equal 60 degrees. How do I do that? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a straight line, and there's one point over there. This obviously, this one over here has to be O because that's my vertex. I then take my protractor and I lay my protractor with the crosshairs exactly on the O, making sure that that line over there is exactly in line with that line over there. So once I've done that, exactly in the crosshair, exactly on the 0, I now need to look for 60 degrees. I know it is an acute angle, so therefore it has to be less than 90 degrees, which is up there. So that is 60 degrees, 60, even though it says 120 there, don't worry about it. It's an acute angle, 60 degrees, put it over there. And then we join those two lines up, those 2 points up, and therefore this will be point A, that is point O, and this one will be point B, and this angle in here is 60 degrees. There you go. Right, so let's draw a right angle, and a right angle must equal 90 degrees. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw my line. Alrighty, now I want to take this point over here as the point that I want to use to create my 90 degree angle. Bring my protractor in, put my crosshairs exactly on that particular point, and making sure that this line lines up exactly with that line over there. And that looks like it does. And the other thing obviously is right in the crosshairs, there's 90 degrees. Put my little marker up there. I then take my ruler, join those 2 points up, that point and my 0 down the bottom. Okay, that is a right angle, and we denote that by putting a little box in it. And if we wanted to give it a name, we could call that A, B, C. So that would be angle A, B, C equals 90 degrees. Alright, now I want to draw our obtuse angle EFG equals 125 degrees. First thing I do is I draw my line, and I'm going to have that as my point, and because that is going to be my vertex, that has to be point F, and I'm going to put my point G in there straight away, and I need 125 degrees. So on my protractor, once again lining up my crosshairs, my line exactly over there, I go on the inside and I look for 125. Well, there's 120, there's 130, so I know it's in the middle. So I'm just going to go between the 50 and the 60, and I see that there's another line that is pretty long. So I'm going to mark that one over there. That is exactly 125 degrees. Take my ruler, let's mark up those 2 points. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to label that point over there as point E, because I want to go EFG equals 125 degrees, and 125 degrees, exactly 125 degrees. Alright, so now I want to draw reflex angle DOE equal to 230 degrees. The first thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to draw a little line segment, and I'm going to call that point O because that is my vertex, and I'm going to call this point over here E. Okay, now I need to find D. 230 degrees is definitely more than 180 degrees. If we put our protractor down and we put it exactly on the line over there, and we start on the inside and we go all the way around, there's 180 degrees over there. So it's definitely going to be more than 180 degrees. How much more? Well, 180 degrees plus something must give us 230. Well, we've got to add another 50 degrees to that to give us 230 degrees. So we flip our protractor upside down, line our crosshairs up, and we add another 50 degrees on, counting on the inside. It's 10, 20, 30, 40, there's 50. Put a little marker over there. Join those 2 points up. Put our point number on here, which is D. Therefore this angle inside here all the way around to there, that is going to be 230 degrees. So in this lesson I've talked about different types of angles, and I've also shown you how to use a protractor to draw the various types of angles. Hope that's been of use to you.